Welcome and welcome back to Rice TVX. Today we're going to be talking about Litecoin. Everything you need to know about this OG cryptocurrency. If you can hear me, please give me a 5x5. Make sure you smash that like button. Helps other people to find these videos. And I definitely use the help because the channel is shadow banned. So we're going to go ahead and get things started. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are also subscribed here as well as my other channel, Rice Against the Grain. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's live stream. We're going to be talking all about Litecoin. But before we get into it, a few quick messages from the sponsors of Rice TVX. And you can always find information in the video description for Presearch and Monarch Wallet. If you're looking for a good decentralized cryptocurrency wallet where you possess and control your private keys, Monarch Wallet is the wallet for you to check out. And if you love searching on the internet and you actually want to get paid for it and you want to fight big tech, get away from Google, make sure you're using Presearch and Presearch it. Information again is in the video description for the sponsors of Rice TVX who make it possible for me to do this full time for you. Oh, real quick, I want to let everybody know if you did not see the interview that I released yesterday with infamous crypto trader, Crypto Face, the creator of Market Cipher, be sure to check that out. And there's actually still a couple 50% discounts. So if you want to get a 50% discount on Market Cipher, use promo code RICEBABY at checkout using my referral code, which I will put in the video description. Wish I would have copied this. Actually, what I can do really quick before we begin, I want to go ahead and copy this so I can paste it into the chat so everybody could take advantage. There's only a few spots left. If you want to take advantage, you get 50% off Market Cipher, which is something that Crypto Face never does. And I would definitely tell you to take advantage. And it's a way you can support the channel. And it is in the live comment section if you want to check that out. Also, the other thing I want to let people know is if you did not check it out, make sure you're watching my interview with Jason Appleton. Most of you know as Crypto Crow, a bird's eye view of crypto in 2023. I get to know Crow. We talk about all of his different projects. He definitely will be back on the show as well as Crypto Face. So be sure to check out those episodes if you did not already. We're going to go ahead and get things started. Again, make sure you smash that like button and please share this video with others and pay attention to the channel promo. And then we're going to get into today's live stream. Before we get into it, make sure you visit ricetvx.com and sign up for my mailing list so you never miss an update or new Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain content. You will also find links to all of my various channels as well as my social media. Make sure you're following both of my YouTube channels, Rice TVX as well as Rice Against the Grain. And due to censorship, make sure you follow me on other alternative platforms such as Rumble and Odyssey, where I do post up exclusive content. If you want to support Rice TVX, be sure to check out and join my Patreon channel, where you will get early access to my videos with no ads, unedited. You will also get exclusive content and more. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get into it. A shout out to everybody who's made a comment so far in the live chat. Kevin B, Terry Toucan, Tricky Creations, Mr. B. It's good seeing you guys. Appreciate everybody for taking the time to tune in for today's live stream. The first thing I want to share is I have interviewed the creator of Litecoin, Charlie Lee, twice on the show. If you have not seen either of those interviews, or you haven't watched them in a while, rewatch them or check them out if you haven't checked them out already. This is linked in the video description, the playlist that I created for Litecoin. Definitely check those out. Litecoin is actually the very first altcoin that I have ever purchased. So when I got involved in crypto, the easiest way to on-ramp buy crypto was Coinbase. And at the time, Coinbase only listed Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum in 2017. I wasn't a big fan of Ethereum, and I'm still not necessarily a huge fan of Ethereum. Although I do utilize Ethereum, I looked at Ethereum as being very centralized in comparison to Bitcoin and Litecoin, especially when I first got into the space and was just learning. So Litecoin was the very first altcoin that I bought. It was a fair launch. That's something that a lot of people aren't aware of. It launched fairly, meaning there was no ICO. Everybody had a fair chance to be able to mine this coin, as it is a proof of work mining coin. So it's fair launched. The longest running blockchain with zero downtime. And you think about Solana, which came out definitely came out after Litecoin, just came out a few years ago. And look at all the problems that Solana was having with shutting off its blockchain. That is basically centralization, because you're not going to be able to shut off a decentralized blockchain unless you actually get consensus with everybody. But that wasn't a situation with Solana and a lot of these projects. So not only that, a lot of people may not know this, but this is for a lot of people who got into crypto because of the meme coins like Doge and Shiba Inu and such. There would be no meme coins today, in my opinion. And there definitely would not be a Doge coin today had it not been for Litecoin and merge mining. There was a situation going on with Dogecoin where they were going to be 51% attacked. The network was going to be taken over. There wasn't enough miners. There wasn't enough activity. And Charlie Lee and Litecoin kind of came in and saved the day and merged mine Dogecoin with Litecoin. So when you're mining either or, you're getting rewards for both if you end up being the one that solves that block reward. So a lot of people aren't even aware of that history, that Litecoin, there would be no Dogecoin today had it not been for what Litecoin did. Now, again, there will be links down below for all this down in the video description. And I will have a link for my other channel, Rice Against the Grain, down below as well. So make sure you're checking out that channel, especially if you're a fan of the Stranger Than Fiction content, because that can now be found over on Rice Against the Grain. And make sure you're signing up for my mailing list at ricetvx.com so you can stay up to date with all my videos as they come out. So again, all this will be linked down below in the video description for everything I share. I'm not going to go over the entirety of these articles. I just wanted to highlight a few things. Also today, the 27th of January, Litecoin processed its 142nd millionth transaction. Yesterday, the 26th, it hit an all-time high with hash rate. We have the addition of MWeb, which is the Mimblewimble extension for fungibility and privacy. We have OmniLite, and there's a lot of stuff going on. We have the halving coming up, and that's going to be coming up soon, which we're going to be talking about the halving and what the halving is, because there was a Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin and Litecoin both have halvings because Litecoin was set up as a code fork of Bitcoin. It was taking the code of Bitcoin and improving upon it. Now, something like Bitcoin Cash was a hard fork. If you think of a blockchain as being a railroad, I'll go full screen on this. So if you think of a blockchain as being a railroad, just kind of going one direction, when the situation with Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin, it took place in 2017 when there was a chain split, it was as if the train track just did this number. So there was still that same originating point going all the way back to the Genesis block. But at some point, at some block, there was a chain split. But Litecoin what Charlie Lee did was take the code from Bitcoin and improve upon it. And with being able to do that, it was able to avoid a lot of the problems that Bitcoin had. So you guys are getting a history lesson here today, because a lot of people don't know or don't pay attention and don't bring light to the things that I'm going to be sharing on today's video. The other thing that I wanted to share, I thought I had the article pulled up. Where is it? This was the article I wanted to pull up. Was Litecoin adoption accelerating? That it outpaced Ethereum in total addresses. And this article came from Bitcoinist.com. I was looking for the date 3 days ago. So the 24th or 25th, depending on how they calculate that. But what we're seeing here is a rapid growth of adoption of Litecoin. As per a tweet from the director of the Litecoin Foundation, Litecoin's growth has continued to accelerate even after surpassing Ethereum in total addresses. The total addresses here is an indicator from on-chain analytics firm Glassnode that measures the total number of unique addresses of a cryptocurrency that have been involved in at least one transaction, whether as a sender or a receiver on the chain during the entire lifetime of the network. So that doesn't count people that just created a wallet and never actually had any transactions sent to that wallet or sent out of that wallet. Those addresses would not be counted. And this is the Glassnode chart that shows the increase of activity. So basically, Litecoin has, from at the time of this, which was on Sunday, the 22nd of January, 2023, Litecoin had 171 million, over 171 million total addresses. Ethereum had over 170 million. So Litecoin has surpassed Ethereum in total number of addresses that have sending and receive transactions. So that's a pretty cool feat to be able to, mention, because we have some exciting stuff going on. We do have the halving event happening, and the halving event reduces the amount of Litecoin that's going to be produced every block. So in Bitcoin's case, every 10 minutes, a block reward is solved. A block is solved and a miner gets a reward. Every 4 years, that reward gets cut in half, and it's baked into the blockchain's programmability into the code. So it's a certain number of blocks, which is why you can't really be precise about when it's going to take place. But this article is actually from November 3rd, talking about Litecoin pre-halving fractal hints at 200% Litecoin price rally by July 2023. And here we are at the end of January 2023, and we're already seeing where Litecoin has gained a lot of momentum. Litecoin is gaining a lot more attention, whereas in the last bull run, a lot of people were really talking negatively about Litecoin, saying that there was nothing special about Litecoin, and a lot of people just were not paying attention to Litecoin, while people like myself, Crypto Blood, Tom Crown, the Litecoin family, Litecoin Lisa, there's been plenty of individuals who have been out here, Clint Westwood, that have been promoting what Litecoin is and how special Litecoin is and why Litecoin is special. Now, if you think about Bitcoin being a peer-to-peer cash system, cash, money, the subject itself is not a very exciting topic. But when something does what it's supposed to do well, it's not going to necessarily be exciting. Now, but with that said, I mean, there are some features that Litecoin have added that make some extra special things about it, that separate it from some of the other cryptocurrencies, or add extra elements other than just being a peer-to-peer transactional system used for payments. We have the MWeb extension, as I mentioned, for privacy and fungibility, and Omni Lite. So we used to have Tether. Tether used to run on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now it's on all these other blockchains. I don't even think Tether runs on the Bitcoin blockchain anymore, but it was running on a Omni layer, OMNI, Omni. So through the Omni layer, they were able to have Tether be the stablecoin issued on the Bitcoin network. Well, since Litecoin is based on the Bitcoin code, they have taken the Omni layer and added that aspect to Litecoin with Omni Lite, which allows for the creation of NFTs and such to that. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the beginner's guide. But again, I mean, a lot of people have been overlooking something that functions very well. The longest existing blockchain was zero downtime. That says a lot, because again, there was a lot of things that have happened in the course of Bitcoin's history that Litecoin was able to learn from and not have those same exploits or bugs take place on Litecoin, which we will be talking about towards the end of this live stream. Now, the website that I have pulled up right now, I'll go full screen on this. this is the Litecoin halving. So it explains all this information about what is a halving event, why was this done, the monetary supply, who controls the issuance. So, as part of Litecoin's coin issuance, mines are rewarded a certain amount of Litecoins whenever a block is produced, approximately every 2.5 minutes. So, the way Litecoin was created in conjunction to Bitcoin, it was the idea of silver to gold. And a lot of people looked at the ratio for silver to gold to be a 4-to-1 ratio. So they looked at gold, or so they were looking at, the idea was for Litecoin to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold. If you think about it in terms of US dollars, Bitcoin could be your $100 bill and Litecoin could be your $10 bill, $20 bill, however you want to look at it, but a smaller denomination. Some people collect their hundreds and spend their 20s. So some people keep their Bitcoin and want to spend their Litecoin because there are 4 times more as many Litecoin as there are Bitcoin. That was part of the improvement, not only the speed, not only the block time, but the number of tokens as well. So Bitcoin will only ever have a total of 21 million, where Litecoin will only have a total of 84 million. Okay, so when Litecoin first started, the 50 Litecoins per block were given as a reward to miners. So every 2.5 minutes, the person that was able to solve that block was rewarded with 50 Litecoin. After 840,000 blocks are mined approximately every 4 years, the block reward has and will keep on having until the block reward per block becomes 0, which is approximately by the year 2142. As of now, the block reward is 12.5 coins per block and will be decreased to 6.25 coins per block post halving. Okay, now I have a graphic I'll pull up on the screen here, which is a perfect explanation for showing you how this looks. So back in 2011, 50 Litecoin were produced per every 2.5 minutes for every miner solving the block, for that one miner that solved that block reward. Then 4 years later, we had a halving, and that reward got cut in half to 25. 4 years later after that, 2019, that got cut down to 12.5. Now, the halving that we're going to see coming up this year in 2023, it's going to cut the block reward down to 6.25. So I hope this graphic actually helps you. And I found this graphic from an article that was on the Litecoin Twitter account, which we'll be sharing here in just a moment. So you guys can go ahead and read the rest of this information if you're interested in learning more about the issuance, past halving dates, halving price performance, because there is price performance action that has taken place before a halving, and this is very much historical for Bitcoin and for Litecoin as well. There's an explanation about the halving as well as statistics if you want to check all that out. Again, this is all linked down below in that video description. So I want to go ahead and fix everything on the screen, get myself on here for everybody. All right. Oh, the other thing I want to let people know is I am doing a fundraiser. I'm going to be replacing my Patreon website here in the next month or two with a private website with private servers, private hosting, so I can avoid being censored and having my videos being taken down. So if you would like to get early access to my videos, exclusive content, and more, you can get lifetime access by participating in my fundraiser. I'm trying to raise $5,000 for the initial cost for everything and kind of cover costs for the first few months. With that being said, I'm offering 50 people lifetime access, plus I'm putting together a special swag bag of Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain merch as a special gift. For $100, you get lifetime access plus the special gift for $100. You can email me at protonmail.com. I'll throw up some information on the screen, which I thought I was already sharing. You can email me at protonmail.com, Rice Media Group at protonmail.com, and put lifetime in the subject line if you're interested. I think that there's about 22 more spots left. I think I have a total of 27 or 28. I'll confirm that in a future video, but there's still a little over 20 spots left. If you're interested, $100 lifetime access. You get that special gifts bag. I don't know why I can't talk today. That special swag bag that's got Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain swag. I got some stickers. I got some patches coming. I got some other items that I'll be surprising people with, and that will be included. Again, a little over 20 spots left. $100. I have a Proton. Excuse me. I have PayPal. I have Cash App. I have Venmo, and I am accepting crypto, but I prefer fiat because I have to sell the crypto because I need the funds to pay for the servers, the work, development, all that good stuff. All right. So thank you for taking a moment to listen to that. So now we're going to go ahead and go over this Litecoin beginner's guide, a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency. And I'm guessing this is like an ongoing article because it doesn't really have like, and it may not even be an article. It just may be like more of a tutorial kind of thing. It explains Litecoin. So Litecoin is widely considered to be the first alternative cryptocurrency. It was launched on October 13th, 2011 to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold. It is still one of the largest peer-to-peer cryptocurrencies by market capitalization, and it uses blockchain technology to keep track of all transactions in a decentralized public ledger. It talks a little bit more about how Bitcoin is mined, or Bitcoin and Litecoin are mined, and the similarities. Talks about the decentralization of Litecoin, being that no central authority can freeze your money in Litecoin because it's an entirely decentralized network. Only users have control and decision-making authority over their money. So in a situation with CBDCs and stablecoins where your money can be frozen, where even in your cryptocurrency wallet, where you possess your private key, Circle Invest can freeze your USDC. Tether can freeze your USDT. So, but Litecoin, the Litecoin network, Charlie Lee, Litecoin Foundation, they can't freeze your Litecoin. It's immutable, it's decentralized, and it's censorship resistant. Litecoin was created by Massachusetts Institute of Technology graduate, that's MIT, Charlie Lee. He's a former Google engineer who became interested in Bitcoin in 2011 and would, after creating Litecoin, join the cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase as the director of engineering in 2013. Check out those interviews that I did with Charlie Lee because we talk about all this, especially the very first interview that I did with Charlie. We cover that immensely, and you got to get a little history lesson from the creator. So definitely check those out if you haven't, and you're a fan of Litecoin, or if you're interested in learning more about Litecoin. There was something very controversial with Charlie Lee when he sold his Litecoin. In December 2017, he revealed that he was selling and donating all of his Litecoin, as he was often accused of tweeting about the cryptocurrency for personal benefit. Litecoin was then trading at an all-time high around $350, and Lee's move was widely criticized. That's about the worst thing people will say about Litecoin, is that Charlie sold his coins, but he was very public when he said he was going to do it. And he realized that he was getting a lot of blowback for people saying that his tweets were moving prices. And with what the SEC was doing and him being a forward thinker, I think he was doing the smart move. Now, the other thing that I will add that a lot of people may not be aware of is that Charlie actually donated a lot of those coins or the fiat. I'm not sure if it was the fiat or the coins, but donated to the Litecoin Foundation, which does a lot of promotion for Litecoin. They have the Litecoin Summit, which I spoke at this past year in Las Vegas. So yeah, there's Litecoin is, Charlie has done some really interesting things, and it's really crazy that people still kind of criticize him for doing that because, again, if you're getting a lot of attention being put on you as a creator of a cryptocurrency, and you essentially could move the price of your coin by talking about it on Twitter, that is definitely going to raise the attention of regulators, government officials, and such. So Charlie was playing a smart move, in my opinion. So I will come to the comment section after I'm done talking about, or come to the live stream, live chat. Again, I'm just having this huge problem communicating the words that I would like to come out of my mouth, but my brain is choosing other ones, and it's just like this confliction going on in my lips. So thank you for taking the time to tune in. I will come to the live chat after I'm done talking. I don't have much more to cover. We talk a little bit about the proof of work mechanisms of Litecoin. And again, if it wasn't for Litecoin doing the merge mining with Dogecoin, there would be no Dogecoin today, in my opinion. The differences between Bitcoin and Litecoin. So let's see here. I was just trying to see where I could read this faster. On average, It's aimed at making it easier for merchants to accept Litecoin by making transactions faster than on the Bitcoin network. On average, one Litecoin block takes 2.5 minutes to be mined. A quarter of Bitcoin's 10 minutes. So four you times 2.5 times 4, that's 10. That's where you get the 4 times difference of what Bitcoin is. While there's a security trade-off here, merchants can also wait for additional network confirmation to be more secure while using Litecoin. Because blocks are 4 times faster on Litecoin, the difficulty on mining on its network adjusts faster, roughly every 3.5 days. To mimic Bitcoin's generation trajectory, Litecoin's halving events were altered as well. While Bitcoin's generation halves every 210,000 blocks, Litecoin's generation halves every 847, or excuse me, I don't know where I said 840,000 blocks. Similarly, to ensure that the last Litecoin is mined at the time the last Bitcoin is mined. That's pretty interesting how he was able to work that out. Litecoin supply is capped at 84 million coins. Talking about the difference in supply, the hashing algorithm, the block generation times, and the halvings. New features. So we have SegWit, and I definitely encourage you to read these in more detail, do a deeper dive, learn all about Litecoin, check out those interviews with Charlie Lee. But they added SegWit in 2017. Bitcoin did the same thing, which also gives it access to working on the Lightning Network. But there is a Litecoin Lightning Network, but the adoption has been kind of slow compared to the Bitcoin network. Because, and this is what a lot of people are saying, because the reason for the slowdown is that Litecoin, may be the base layers, already has lower transactions. So they're saying that people may not be using the Litecoin Lightning Network because Litecoin itself already has low transaction fees. That was the reason for the Lightning Network for Bitcoin, was to cut down transaction fees. Some people may not know that the first ever off-chain atomic swap between Bitcoin and Litecoin Lightning networks was completed in 2017. So we also have Mimblewimble. I'm trying to get David Burkett on the show. He is the dev that was hired by the Litecoin Foundation to develop the MWeb extension. It's a protocol that modifies implementation of the proof of work algorithm underpinning a cryptocurrency's blockchain. It prevents individual inputs and outputs related to transactions from being identified, which basically is enhancing privacy and obfuscating traceability. The testnet launched October 2020, and its lead developer, who I mentioned, David Burkett, has been focusing on making it easier for non-technical Litecoin users to begin testing it. And there has been a lot of developments on that sense, and I do want to get David on so we can explain that. There's also some explanation about what Litecoin is used for, and this is all opinion that comes from Cointelegraph. Some information about the halving, information about how to mine. Also, this was something interesting I didn't even know about until I looked at this article, but how to stake Litecoin and earn money. I don't know anything about this, so I'm not encouraging anybody to use it. But in 2020, the Litecoin Proof of Stake Network was launched. It's a unique take on Bitcoin's code base with significant performance and consensus enhancements. Validator staking, LTCP, must stake matured coins because it is a proof of stake system. Additionally, the coins to be staked must be in an address transaction types that are compatible. So again, I've never heard of Litecoin staking. This is something that I had to do a little bit more digging and research in. I saw it in the article. I figured I would bring it up. I'm not encouraging people to do this until you guys do some better research, or I do some better research and bring some information to you. So the other thing I was going to share was the Twitter account from Litecoin, because they kind of go over a lot of the different achievements that have taken place on Litecoin just recently, and to kind of keep everybody up to date. And again, if you guys haven't smashed that like button and you do like Litecoin, if you think Litecoin is the right coin, be sure to smash that like button. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't, and I would greatly appreciate it. And that is the best way that you can support any channel that you watch, is by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Sharing is caring. So as we scroll down, and I said this earlier, but the Litecoin network just processed its 140 millionth transaction. I want to go ahead and refresh and make sure there's nothing new that was posted, because there's all kinds of stuff happening. These are the ways that you can pay with Litecoin. So if you wanted to be able to use Litecoin to pay for things, you can use BitPay, PayPal, CoinGate, Shopify, Flexa, CoinMe/Coinstar, CakePay, CryptoCompay, Now Payments, Coinbase Commerce, Alpha Coins, Coin Payments, CryptoBucks, Binance Pay, and the Litecoin Visa card. How many other cryptocurrencies have all that? Riding an electric wave, Litecoin's hash rate hits an all-time high. The hash rate climbs to 742.30 terahash per second. I think I got that right. A new record analysis says maybe a sign of Litecoin's increasing strength and security. So when we talk about the idea of the SEC coming after cryptocurrency and what will and won't be a security, and what will safely not be under the SEC's guidelines and may fall under the CFTC, being that Bitcoin has already been called a commodity, the SEC has already come out and said it is not a security. Being that Litecoin was a fair launch created off the Bitcoin code, Litecoin would be in that same position. And that's why you're seeing companies like PayPal. PayPal doesn't allow for you to hold Doge or Shiba Inu, if I'm not mistaken. And I can really quickly just take a moment to go on my PayPal application, see what the hell they got here. Crypto. Let's see. Why is this being difficult? Unless I'm seeing something wrong here. It says Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Is there any more? They have Ethereum. Check out more. I think that's it. I think Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Litecoin Cash. If there's any other cryptocurrencies that are on PayPal that you're aware of that I missed, please let me know. But again, I think that's a big thing. For everybody watching, I do want to remind people that there are still a couple discounts left for people to get 50% off because it was for the first 50 people to sign up using my referral link. So I got this referral link that you can see, and I posted it into the chat. Let me see if I think I have the copy and paste still here. So I think I can do it again. Yes, I can. So it is in the live chat again. There's still a couple 50% left discounts left. There was a couple people yesterday that purchased or that was going to purchase it, that put it in their carts that never actually completed the purchase. And that kind of took up the spots. So there was yesterday, it said that the limit was already taken. Those were cleared out. And the team assured me that it would be 50 people. So the first 50 people, I think there's like 7 or 8 potential 50% off discounts I haven't seen since I started the live stream. Market Cipher is very popular, and I have never seen a 50% discount. So you would go to that specific link, which I have shared in the video with Crypto Face. It's shared on my Twitter account as well. You use my specific referral link, and then at checkout, use the promo code RICE Promo code RICE Baby at checkout to get that 50% off, but you got to use my referral link, and there's only just a few left. So please take advantage, and it is a way that you get to support the channel as well. So I greatly appreciate that, guys. All right, so as I continue on, again, Litecoin's hash rate hit an all-time high. It's the most reliable and complete cryptocurrency, especially now with the MWeb Mimblewimble extension. You guys can read more about that with the article. Litecoin is a truly decentralized network. There is no central authority that can freeze your money. Only you control and make decisions of what you do with your money. Another thing here, adoption accelerating. I shared that article. Litecoin outperforms Bitcoin and Ethereum by nearly 30% in a 1-year time frame. That comes from coinedition.com. You can find this article on Litecoin's Twitter account at Litecoin. More than $1 trillion has been moved on the Litecoin network as of January 23rd. While the banks rest on weekends and holidays, the Litecoin blockchain works for you incessantly, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year without ever having an interruption, ever, for over 11 years. I thought I would add that, ever. So yeah, I definitely encourage you guys to follow the Litecoin account over on Twitter. You can also find more information at CoinMarketCap. If you were to click on Litecoin, it would show you all these statistics. It gives you the market cap, the diluted market cap, the volume, the circulating supply. Right now, 86% of the Litecoin have been minted and are already out for everybody's. It also gives information about price statistics, some articles, and such that you can check out. I got a warning coming up. And all right, so the next thing that I wanted to share, and this is something that a lot of people don't talk about because people talk about Bitcoin being immutable. I love Bitcoin. I love the idea of the creation of what Satoshi Nakamoto put in that white paper on October 31st, 2008. But being that it was the very first cryptocurrency, it experienced bugs, it experienced problems. But by the time that Litecoin was created using the code from Bitcoin, those same exploits and bugs that took place on the Bitcoin network did not take place on Litecoin. So Litecoin got to take advantage of the fact that it got to learn from the mistakes that Bitcoin, unfortunately, that were made with Bitcoin because of vulnerabilities. You're going to always, if there's ever a vulnerability, a hacker is going to exploit it. And that took place on Bitcoin several times. It even took place on Ethereum. The Ethereum that we know today is not the original Ethereum. Did you know that? Ethereum Classic is actually the original Ethereum chain. And there was a DAO hack that took place. And in order to avoid the hack, they basically did a chain split, which didn't include that block. That's not immutable. Same thing with Bitcoin, not in that particular instance, but we will share these articles here. And then again, after I'm done with this, I will come back to the live chat, see what everybody has to say. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. And again, if you have not smashed that like button, please take time to do so. It'd be greatly appreciated. All right, so this article comes from August 26, 2020 from Decrypt, and it reads, the day someone created 184 billion Bitcoin. You're like, what? Thought there's only supposed to be 21 million. In the early days, one hacker was able to create 184 billion Bitcoin out of thin air. In August 2010, someone exploited a flaw in Bitcoin's code to create 184 billion Bitcoin. The bug was quickly corrected by Bitcoin's anonymous creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. The person behind the value overflow incident exploit remains unknown. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. We're not too far off. Around 18.5 million Bitcoin are already in circulation, but on the 15th of August, 2010, that limit was destroyed by one person who managed to exploit a flaw to produce 184 Bitcoin. Let me see here. And it gives information about the flaw, shows the code, shows the fix. The anomaly was quickly spotted on the Bitcoin Talk forum by Jeff Garzik, a Bitcoin developer who today is the CEO of Block. The issue was termed an overflow bug. The code for checking Bitcoin transactions didn't work if outputs were large enough that they overflowed when summed. The bug that caused the value overflow incident was corrected very quickly, and it took about 5 hours before a soft fork was rolled out, which reset the Bitcoin blockchain to before the block and included code to reject output value overflow transactions. So when people say that Bitcoin is immutable, which means you can't change anything on a blockchain, they're wrong. Because again, it was fixed 5 hours. It took 5 hours to fix it with a soft fork, which reset the Bitcoin blockchain to before the bugged block and included a code to reject output value overflow transactions, which means they rolled back and pretended like that block didn't exist. The soft fork is a blockchain update. Since the Bitcoin community forked the state of the blockchain before the 184 billion Bitcoin was mined, that means that some blocks were previously valid were turned into invalid blocks, removing them from the blockchain and restoring it to an earlier state. The fork erased all transactions and mining that had been recorded on blocks that were produced after the bug block. It also disposed of the 184 billion bug Bitcoin. The update, Bitcoin patch 0.3.10, was implemented by Bitcoin pseudo creators Satoshi Nakamoto himself, herself, or themselves. So, how is that immutable? I mean, let's at least be honest with ourselves when we start saying things like that, because Litecoin is immutable. Bitcoin has proved it's not immutable. And again, I will come to the live chat. We're almost done going over this. This is an article that talks about the inflation bug from Yahoo Finance. So if you want to learn more about that actual exploit, it's linked down below. Talks about how bugs happen. So there was an OP slash, and this is all really techie stuff. I don't understand half of it, but I want to share. These are just 3 different bugs, just 3. There was the OP_L shift crash. Bug 2 is the inflation error, which I talked about. Bug 3 is a net split. The net split bug exploits the fact that you can have 2 alternative blocks with different transactions in it, that hash to the same value. That doesn't mean the hash value is broken. It means that there are 2 blocks of different transactions that collide with the same hash. This bug is an easy fix. Miners simply need to eventually reject one of the blocks, making those transactions invalid. Collisions may happen or are known to happen to a certain extent. One of the worst times, there were 2 valid blockchains at around 8 blocks, meaning some miners were mining one chain while others were mining a different chain. These splits may happen, but eventually get resolved as one of the chains will get more work done and replace the other. So that's 3 different exploits. Then we have an article that came out from September 9th, 2020. A high severity bug in Bitcoin software revealed 2 years after fix. So a previously undisclosed bug in Bitcoin Core could have let attackers steal Lightning Network funds, delay transfers, or split the network had it not been patched in 2018. Let's see here. So this is according to a paper published by Braden Fuller, a protocol engineer at crypto shopping site Purse, who caught the denial of service vulnerability in June 2018, and Kaved Khan, a core developer of the Handshake protocol. The vulnerability was given a severity level of 7.8 on a scale of 1 to 10, which is deemed high. 9 or above is considered critical. It was caused by remote nodes failing to clear invalid transactions from their memory, Khan told CoinDesk. The inability to clear those transactions could lead to an aggressor flooding a victim node with stale data and what is referred to as uncontrolled resource consumption, eventually causing the node to shut down, the paper states. Layer 2 solutions such as Lightning Network, the experimental payment system built on top of Bitcoin blockchain, were at risk due to the vulnerability. So it explains a little bit more about the situation, but I just wanted to highlight again that there are vulnerabilities, bugs, and issues that have happened in cryptocurrencies. And a lot of times people don't talk about this history. And when I mentioned earlier about Ethereum, the original Ethereum not being Ethereum, that Ethereum Classic is the actual real Ethereum, the original Ethereum, I should say, not necessarily the real, but the original. The $55 million hack that almost brought Ethereum down, and this comes from CoinDesk back September 17th in 2020. So they're just kind of rehashing on some history. June 6, 2016, a here-to-know unknown assailant or assailants began siphoning off funds from Ethereum's first decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, a bit of software that functions like a corporation. Weeks earlier, the DAO went live following a $150 million crowd sale. Okay, let me go ahead and scroll down. And this is the last article I was going to share, and then I'll come to the comments. While the attack never broke Ethereum's code, it merely exploited a loophole in the DAO's smart contract. It cast doubts over the viability of the blockchain-based world computer. It was also the beginning of Ethereum's two Ethereums. Leasing, who has been covering the crypto industry for better than half a decade, has called out sick from work the day a hacker absconded with 55 million in stolen ETH, but he didn't let the story die. Over the past 4 years, he has been reporting out the story told in a book, examining blockchain data, following through on cryptic tips, and ultimately tracing a path towards his leading suspect. They talk about the exploit in a little bit more detail here. I was trying to find where it had the fix. But basically what long story short was to they did something very similar to what Bitcoin did with the exploit bug and rolled back the chain and forked it. And the original Ethereum is Ethereum Classic, and what we call Ethereum today is the fork of the original Ethereum. So that's a little bit of history for you guys. A little bit of crypto history. I hope that was educational. Hope you guys learned something that maybe you have not learned. I'm not trying to speak negatively about Bitcoin. I'm not a Litecoin maximalist. I'm not a maximalist of any particular coin. I do have a lot of love for Litecoin. It is the very first altcoin, the first cryptocurrency that I bought after I purchased Bitcoin. And it was the first for a lot of other individuals. I think it was the first for crypto blood, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of us, we've been fans of Litecoin. Just Litecoin doesn't have DeFi elements like some of these other projects. There's not smart contracts, but not every cryptocurrency needs to be the same. And some cryptocurrencies need to be something different. And with the coming of CBDCs, programmable money that could be attached to a social credit score, you want to have something immutable. Because if you're using Tether or USDC or other potential, and I'm not saying it's about every single stable coin, but other stable coins, they can be frozen. It's programmable money. There's not much of a difference between a CBDC and a stable coin. I don't really think there's any difference really at all. It's just different names for the same thing, except for a central bank is not issuing the stable coins as we know them today. But being that the word CBDC is kind of becoming well known amongst people as not being a very favorable thing, CBDCs probably won't be called CBDCs. They're going to be in disguise. And I'll talk more about that on another show, probably on a stream on Monday. I want to let people know I will be going live on Rice Against the Grain on Sunday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And that will be with Ethan Lucas for episode 40 of Spirituality of Law. So for everybody who's watching that are fans of my Stranger Than Fiction content, I have now moved that to my new channel, Rice Against the Grain. And here at Rice TVX, we are focusing specifically on crypto, economics, and politics there within. So now I will go ahead and see what everybody has to say. I do appreciate everybody who's taking the time to join us. And again, if you haven't smashed that like button, I'd greatly appreciate you doing so. Brian Miller, this is an earlier comment. I'm hoping that maybe what I talked about today might have cleared up some information for you. Maybe you have a different insight about Litecoin. Unless you just feel like you're only going to use one specific cryptocurrency and you're going to be a maxi of a cryptocurrency, there are certain things that you need to use certain cryptocurrencies for. Litecoin is going to work perfectly for us to avoid CBDCs. 4 times faster than Bitcoin. Same code, but better. So it's already learned from all those things. So it doesn't have all the exciting features that some other cryptocurrency and blockchain protocols and projects have, but it works exactly like it's supposed to. What other blockchain can you say has the longest running blockchain with 0 downtime? No bugs, no exploits, no inflation bugs, no DAO hack. Let's see here. Mr. Tom Carey, thank you for tuning in. Kevin B, he's starting to come around because he realizes now that Litecoin would not be deemed as a security. Litecoin would be a commodity, which is why you're seeing a lot of traditional legacy financial institutions involving themselves with Litecoin because they know it's going to be something safe when we're not really sure about what will be safe. There's no way they could say Litecoin is a security. It's just absolutely no way. There was no ICO. It's a fair launch. It's a code fork of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's a commodity, there's no way that they could say that Litecoin isn't. So Bitcoin is starting, or Bitboy is starting to come around to a lot of the OG cryptocurrencies, and we may see other OG older chains start to do more better performance. People may start recognizing the benefits of these chains that are still existing, that have been existing, that don't have this VC funding, that are very grassroots. And Digibyte's another one. There's a lot of great cryptocurrency projects out there that don't necessarily have a whole lot of excitement going on for them because they don't have that VC marketing money to be able to push their centralized bullshit projects. Master BTC LTC, thank you, man. I appreciate. Crypto Gecko, thank you for tuning in. Cryptic Gecko, thank you for tuning in. I definitely agree. My man from Australia, good seeing you, my friend. All right, Litecoin tech support. Sup, everybody. I always like some Litecoin talk. Awesome, awesome. Let's see here. One of my favorite coins, the ones I use for spending. It has always been fast and trouble free, and has an extra. And as an extra, it tends to surge whenever altcoins are up. Yeah, I mean, it didn't perform as well as some of the other altcoins in the last bull run, but again, I think that's going to change because with regulation coming in, a lot of these projects that are out are going to be deemed as securities. Where is Litecoin going to stand? Thank you, Hat. I appreciate. Let's see here. Did I see the New York Assembly bill? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I definitely had to look into that. I agree. No reason for the Litecoin network, but as Litecoin gets more adoption, it'll be a major advantage to use Litecoin Lightning instead of Bitcoin Lightning. I agree. Did you get notified, Mr. David? Let me know if you did, man. And if you did not get notified, if you guys didn't get a notification of me going live, and I set this live stream up yesterday, then what you need to do is unsubscribe from my channel, resubscribe, and then hit that notification bell because YouTube likes playing games. They like to shadow ban me. They like to censor me. They want to pretend I'm not here. Even though everyone has subscribed to my channel, has made it very clear they want to watch my videos, YouTube is making it very clear they don't want to notify you. So hopefully that helps you. Thank you, man. We're definitely going to get together and hang out soon. You're talking about Market Saver, amazing discount. You'll not get that anywhere else other than from CryptoFace himself. Even then, it's extremely rare. Thank you, man. It's awesome indicators, 4 awesome indicators. Recon John, thanks for tuning in. Red Scout, I appreciate you joining. I'm not really sure what you were saying there, but I appreciate you being in the chat from Eddie. I think we're all sons of Adam. Thank you for tuning in, Red Scout. Michael Rollins, thank you for tuning in. Tara Spence, thanks for joining. I appreciate. Going to start my first crypto ball, the Ledger. Awesome. If you need some help with some cryptos, man, let me know, Tara Spence. I got you. BTC was my first coin in 2013. Litecoin was my second in 2017. And Ada Cardano is your third. Mr. X, it's good seeing you, my friend. And for anybody who says that this is bad, some sort of weird symbol or bad symbology, I'm going to take this. I know what my intentions are behind this. It's all about love. So will a CBDC be trustless? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right. Bobby Lins is saying it's what's a good Litecoin debit card? The Litecoin credit card. I think let me see if there's information on their website real quick. On the Litecoin website. About download contact form foundation. What is Litecoin resources? I think it's with unbanked. It used to be Turnio. So you can look at the unbanked or just we can pre-search it, But yeah, there is a Litecoin credit card specific that was partnered with Turnio that formerly changed its name to Unbanked. I don't have a price target. Don't have a price target. I'm not an active trader enough to be able to look at a chart and give you any sort of analysis or speculation. But did you buy? It was a fair launch project, very similar to Litecoin. And it has proven itself. It's lasted through numerous bear markets and it still is in existence. And it's very much ran by its community. Let's see here. Bobby says, I think Litecoin has established itself as the alternative to cash. I see Bitcoin as digital gold, except better because it's Nines Infinite and Litecoin as digital cash. I'm not sure the last part there, but Bobby, thank you. Crypto Myco, just make sure to turn on the notifications. Let me know if that works for you, man. I will be going live Monday. Will be the next live show I do here on Rice TVX. Got some interesting chat going on here between a few of you guys. Nothing bad, but just interesting. Optimist, the ability to move money with privacy and cheaply across the world should never be underestimated. Well said, my friend. It is all about the love, Mr. X. Thank you again. A1, I knew nothing about Litecoin, so thanks. Well, awesome, man. I'm glad I got to enlighten you on little things here. Litecoin is, like I said, I feel like it has proven itself. Some people believe it is the first altcoin. It did get to learn from all the mistakes and bugs that Bitcoin had, and it got to take advantage of that. It's 4 times faster than Bitcoin is with the block speed because Bitcoin's blocks are every 10 minutes. Litecoin's blocks are every 2.5 minutes. There's 84 million Litecoin versus 21 million Bitcoin. So if somebody does want to look at Bitcoin as being a store of wealth, digital gold, then Litecoin could be what you use for your daily transactions. And the transaction costs are very low. There's a lot of people who utilize Litecoin for sending and receiving money. So again, I really do appreciate people for tuning in. Red Scout, I'm not sure what's going on with you, but I'm putting you in timeout, brother. Even though we're going to be ending, you're saying some weird stuff over there, my friend. Crystal Seth, thanks for joining. Crypto Myco, thanks for following me on Rumble. I greatly appreciate that. Kevin B, you definitely busted some knowledge about Litecoin that I didn't know. So thanks, brother. Awesome. I'm glad. And again, everything that we talked about on today's show and every show that I ever do is always linked down below in the video description so that you guys can further deep dive and look at all this information yourself, because there may be something that I didn't cover that you still can learn some more information on, because there is a lot more information in those articles, especially if you want to learn more about those Bitcoin exploits and such. That inflation bug is definitely something that a lot of people are not fully aware of. Again, I want to encourage people to make sure that you guys head over to ricetvx.com, sign up for my mailing list so that you don't miss updates on what's going on with Rice TVX. I'll let you know 3-4 times a month what I'm putting out on both channels. So make sure you sign up for my mailing list, ricetvx.com. You'll find links to all my social media as well as both YouTube channels, Rice Against the Grain and here, Rice TVX. The other thing I want to remind people of is I still have like 22, 23 spots left for my fundraiser for my private website. So if you're interested in getting lifetime access, getting that special Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain swag, $100, 50 people helps me to raise $5,000. And yeah, I think it's a great deal. I mean, I'm going to be charging a monthly fee. You get to avoid that and be a lifetime member. And this is something that I'm doing very special with limited edition swag. I'm not printing any more than 150 of any of these items that I'm going to be giving out to the 50 individuals that end up as lifetime members. So you can email me at ricemediagroup@protonmail.com, put lifetime in the subject line. I have PayPal, I have Venmo, I have Cash App, and I also will accept cryptocurrency, but I prefer the fiat because I had to cash out the crypto because I need the funds to pay for the servers, for the hosting, for the development, and have a little cushion to make sure that we can cover costs as we're growing the website and community. So in the meantime, I will be sending you emails directly with all the links for all the videos that I put out, whether it's early access or an exclusive video, whether it's a channel update of what's happening. I will be recording a channel update tomorrow that I will be putting out for everybody. I may do it later tonight, but at latest tomorrow to let everybody know what's going on the channel next week. I will be going live with Gareth Soloway here on Rice TVX next week, so make sure you stay tuned. I will be scheduling that towards the end of the weekend. I've got other interviews that I have scheduled and set up, which if you are a patron or a part of the lifetime access private website, you'll get access to knowing all that information, and it'd be greatly appreciated for you supporting the channel, because I'm telling you what, I do not make anything, very much of anything, from YouTube. And everything that I make on Patreon is very public. I keep everything transparent. Um, Again, it is because of my sponsors that allow me to do this full time. And that was another reason why I split the channels up, so that I could keep Rice TVX as my source of income, and then Rice Against the Grain gets to be my voice to go against the grain, to continue going down those rabbit holes of all things stranger than fiction. So I do hope you enjoyed today's live stream. Before we wrap up, I want to play one more time this channel promo for everybody who showed up late, so that you know where to follow me, all that good stuff. So make sure you're paying attention to this. And before we get to that, I want to leave you with this. It's the weekend. So one, enjoy the weekend. But I encourage you, each and every one of you, you watching, be a blessing to others. It really does come back around. Treat people how you want to be treated. Set that example. Be the glitch you want to see in the matrix. Be the change you want to see in this world. And until next time, practice change. Before we get into it, make sure you visit ricetvx.com and sign up for my mailing list, so you never miss an update or new Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain content. You will also find links to all of my various channels, as well as my social media. Make sure you're following both of my YouTube channels, Rice TVX, as well as Rice Against the Grain. And due to censorship, make sure you're following me on other alternative platforms such as Rumble and Odyssey, where I do post up exclusive content. If you want to support Rice TVX, be sure to check out and join my Patreon channel, where you will get early access to my videos with no ads, unedited. You will also get exclusive content and more. Okay, real quick. A lot of people thought I was done, but I want to go ahead and address something real quick here. One, David, I appreciate you sharing that link for the Litecoin card. So Litecoin-card.com, and you can load it in many ways, as David says. Now, the thing I wanted to highlight was this. Crystal Seth, host your website on a blockchain. No monthly or annual fees. Okay, well, here's the thing. I barely make enough money to be able to pay my bills. There's a reason why I'm charging for this. I have free content that I offer on YouTube. I have free content that I offer on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, and other places. But for people who want to support the channel, for people who want to support what I do and be a part of the community building process and get access to videos early, unedited, no ads, exclusive content, and more, that want to go that extra mile, that want to support what I do so I can continue doing this full time, I appreciate those people. For those of you who want free content, just stay subscribed here. You'll get the videos when they come out. That's how it works, yo. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Even you, Crystal Seth, even though you don't think I should make any money. It's not how this game works. If you want to work for free, more power to you. I have bills. I have to pay for internet to have this channel. I have to pay for equipment to upgrade to make my videos look better and more presentable for everybody who watches these videos. And if you go back and watch my very first video that I put out 5 years ago, you will see how much I have changed, have grown, and have added new equipment and elements and learned a better game. And I will continue that process. But I can't do that if I don't make money. Yeah. So again, for people who cannot afford, I completely understand it. The content will come out. But for those that want to support, I'm going to make it available to people. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Much love.